Everyone, welcome to the defensive film study. I got Jet Bush, Drew Kelson, former players. We're going to actually break down Florida for you. We're going to show you what they do on offense and defense, and then give you some keys to the game. Another place to always get great keys to the game is Inside Texas. You can join for just $1 and get a full year of access to The Athletic. If you pause the video real quick, you can scan this QR code. It'll take you straight to the sign up, and it will apply that promo automatically. All right, guys, let's get straight into the film. All right, for the first clip, we are going to study the Florida offense and see what they like to do. And of course, they're playing Miami. This is the third quarter. It is 1st and 10, and the ball is on the Florida 20, 9:36 left on the clock here. What we're going to get is a quick motion from the tight end. And then we notice a very quick pitch to the boundary. This is their number 2 back, Jacoby Jackson. This is not Bob, but their number 2 back's also talented. He's able to keep going, follows his blockers well. Their backs are good, and he's able to pick up a pretty big gain here. Still keeps going. And then they'll finally get him for a huge gain right here in the pile.
Yeah, I mean, first to put this play into context, I mean, they struggled the entire first half of this Miami game, just really trying to get the passing game going. Even with all the talent they have in the backfield, they just struggled, both from just the chaos up front and pass protection, amongst other things, with just not being able to move the ball through the air because Miami was playing a ton of zone and just Lagway struggled with it. What you saw in the second half was just an overall shift to reliance on getting the play or getting the ball to their playmakers as soon as they could and allowing them to make plays. And so what really stands out about this play in particular, this is when they're in 12 personnel. They bring the tight end across to the other side. So you have a tight end on the other on the boundary side of the field. You motion the other tight end to that side, and then you do this quick snap. The reason why you do this is to create some leverage, to create some indecision. And so they're in position as this play unfolds to where they're getting a hat on a hat. And the thing that stands out about Florida is it's their running backs. Their running backs are incredibly talented in open space. And so if you're Florida and you are struggling with the pass game and struggling to get that going, what you want to lean into is just getting the ball to, the best players on your team. It doesn't matter how strong Flagway's arm is or what his talent is. At the end of the day, you have some guys who you're confident in can win when you get them in space. So I do think this play is just an example of how, we're going to be tested. If they get a hat on a hat, making plays in open space and not allowing these guys to be dynamic. And even in the blowout win last year at DKR, their running backs and they stood out. They really stood out in spite of that loss. So definitely something I'll be looking this week just to see how much they lean into it, how they challenge Texas, and how they feed these talented backs. And so, yeah, we'll see how they shape it up.
All right, let's move to the end zone copy here. Jet, you're going to break it down. We've struggled with boundary runs, but you're not worried about this one in particular. It's good that we know that they're going to do this, but you think we're going to be able to solve it pretty easily. And why is that, man?
Yeah, so let me break it down for you, at least from what I'm seeing and how I would take care of this from a defensive perspective. First of all, I'm going to take that head up 7. I'm going to move him outside to a 9. I guarantee you they're aware of this, that Will linebacker is aware of the nub tight end. And so he's probably telling that defensive end widen out. This creates better leverage for that Will linebacker because now it forces the tackle actually to climb to him. And that's going to be a better matchup for the linebacker. He's not as athletic. It'll allow him to get over the top. You can see how the Will linebacker is going to struggle to get over the top now because the tight end has leverage, outside leverage. And then everybody else is one-on-one. But if we have a 9 technique there, it'll change who's got the matchups. We'll have the Will linebacker flown over the top. We'll have the 9. That edge will be a mismatch for the tight end. He should be able to just hold his stance and go outside if he needs to help with the corner, who should be able to be either folded inside or make a play outside, no problem. So I'm not too worried about this play. I know they're going to be aware of that in the film room. Even if it's in cover 3, I'm still not worried about it. I think both those outside boundary safety and the middle linebacker or whoever the cylinder linebacker is going to be able to take care of that. So I know we're going to be hyper aware when it's nub tight end. We're going to know that they're going to try to get that motion over and try to get the numbers So we're going to be hyper aware. We're super smart on defense. It's nothing I'm too worried about.
All right, next clip, third quarter, 2nd and 7. Ball is on the 50 here, 8:47 left on the clock. We're going to see a quick screen to the field with some run action towards the bottom of your screen here. And Florida likes to run a lot of screens. DJ Lagway was known for deep passing last year. No, not at all this year. His ADOT is around 6 yards. That's second to last in the SEC. So let's take a look real quick. We once again see the tight end motioning around the core. You'll see that a bunch. They fake the run action here, the counter, and then they throw it right out to the field. They got the big boys out there, and the receiver is able to make a little move and get an extra yard. So this will be a big factor for the Florida offense that we'll see coming up. Drew, first things first, what do you want to point out?
I just think, just from the context, I mean, this is in contrast to what they did on the first play we showed. You know, they have the tight end with his hand in the dirt to the boundary. You motion the I guess the H-back, or I guess also a tight end, across the formation with run action that way. That is where they're wanting to attack. I really think they're going to want to attack with the run game, but to play off of that will be these quick throws. You know, as we were talking prior to kind of jumping on here, when I look at what Florida has done well, and frankly, Florida is no different than Texas in this regard. You go into these games thinking, okay, what do we do well? You kind of know what you're going to what you're going to go with. And I do think these screenplays, along with the run game, are the two things they cannot give up on this week. So I do expect to see a heavy dose of both, with kind of the sleepy deep ball whenever they can find those opportunities. But you need to keep the ball alive. You need to keep the drives alive with the run game and the screen game. And this was effective here. So another opportunity to get the ball out quickly to a playmaker in space, get a hat on a hat, and let your playmakers make plays without trying to feature your quarterback that has not yet developed into the passer, and your line has not developed into the pass protecting line that you trust down after down in the passing game. So this is just what I expect to see a lot of. A ton of pursuit is going to be required in this case. And maybe they'll just kind of play their chess match this way, because this is where they're confident. This is where they've made plays. This is where they've gained yards. And there's just so many other areas of their playbook where it's just not clicking. So expect to see a lot of pursuit from the D-line, our guys being strong on the edge, being physical on the edge, and just getting Lagway comfortable, just getting the ball out of his hands and letting the other guys work.
Jet, do you think we're going to see a lot of this?
Yeah, I think this is just going to be a complement off of the run that we saw earlier into the boundary. This is essentially the same formation they're getting into with that wing pro set. Just after the motion, however you want to look at it, that's what they're ending up in. So it's a complementary screen off of the or a read. They might even, give them the chance to read it sometimes. But it's a compliment to that run right there. I think it's just I was laughing earlier because of the Will linebacker. I mean, he still has not moved. And number one, I mean, he's nothing bad. They don't shift because the boundary safety is the one rotating here, I think. And he's just going to play it from above. But number one is cracking me up for sure on this play. But, yeah, I always just find that funny to point out. But, no, I think we'll be fine. It's nothing I'm worried about. Our DBs are going to be flying around. Taff, I mean, you could read this probably like a book if I had to guess. That guy triggers faster than anybody I've seen in a while. So it'll be something that they kind of get a feel for, but nothing I'm going to be worried about. But you're definitely going to expect from Florida because it's easy for them to get their playmakers the ball.
Yeah, and shout out Florida offensive line makes a big tackle here. Bam. He gets his guy.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy.
All right, now let's look at the Florida defense playing the Miami offense, and then we can critique what Florida does on the defensive side of the ball. Are you ready to love your kitchen and bathroom again? Luxe Kitchen and Bath will bring that to life. Luxe has been offering high-end kitchen and bathroom remodels for 3 generations throughout the greater Austin area. With 5-star review after 5-star review on Google and Facebook and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, you can put your faith in Luxe Kitchen and Bath's award-winning designers and skilled craftspeople to bring your dream vision to life. But that's not all. Luxe's all-star team also provides full home remodels, large additions, and even commercial build-outs as well. So call Luxe Kitchen and Bath at 833-358-LUXE today, or visit luxekitchenbath.com to discover where quality meets luxury and begin the process of transforming your home. Get your free quote today by calling 833-358-LUXE. That's LUXE, or by visiting luxekitchenbath.com. Contact info is in the description. All right, we have Florida on defense, and this is some of the ways Miami attacked them on offense. This is the second quarter. It is 1st and 10. Ball is on the Miami 33. They are in a 2-back set. One of the backs is going to lead. The other one is going to take the run. See the nickel come up here, half-ass his run fit. That's an important thing we'll talk about. And then Miami's able to get a nice little run here. Maybe Texas can do the same. First things first, Jet, you want to look at the end zone or you want to talk about the wide?
No, let's look at the end zone. All right, so this is nothing crazy. This is just counter, and we're going to have bombers, which is this 2-back look, and he's just going to essentially get an extra block with number 6 right there. So you love that, and what they're exposing is essentially that nickel who just does not want to play run. He doesn't. He turns his back. They're essentially running it right at him because they know that. Hand it off, and then everybody picks up their assignment. Nothing crazy. Everybody just does their job. Running back finds the gap. There's the hole. He takes it to the next level, let him make a play, and look at the wide receivers blocking downfield. I know that'll happen over at us. And then we just let our athletes be an athlete and pick up an explosive run play just like that. It's nothing crazy, but it's very sound football, and I can see us definitely getting into some type of 2-back formation. I don't know if it'll be bombers. I could see them doing something creative. It could be bombers, but, let them do their thing over there, and we're going to see a variation of this. I wouldn't be surprised for sure.
Drew, any quick notes?
Just when I see this play, I think about just certain times. So if you don't remember, I played running back my freshman year. And I didn't actually play. I practiced running back. Cedric Benson was the tailback at the time. And I just sitting in the room with he and like Will Matthews and then Selvin Young at that time. There's certain plays you look at on film and you spend the next 3 nights visualizing how you're going to attack it. And that's offensive line, but especially as a running back. And so when you see, especially with the way we've been running duo, we've been running GT counter, like we have a few run concepts that we're confident in. This is right in our wheelhouse. And so when you see a less physical or less, less physical nickel that you have to deal with in these situations, you just want to put them in compromising situations. But as a back, as a blocker, like, this is what you want to see on film that gets you salivating as the week goes on. So we know we're going to need the run game, and this is an example of the type of plays that are executed in a way that sends the players into the week with some confidence. So hopefully they're taking a deep look at this too.
And then our final play here showing the Florida defense. Now, this doesn't actually work out for Miami, but we don't care about that. We care that it could have worked out for a touchdown. Something just went wrong. So we will use that in our intel as well. This is going to be second quarter, 1st and 10. Ball is on the Florida's 45, 9:54 on the clock. You're going to see that same 2-back set we just saw, but this time they're going to motion the back away and they're going to run to the right here. They pull both guards, so they have the numbers advantage. 73 is going to block 15. 78 is doing his own thing. He clearly can block this corner here, and it's a touchdown, one-on-one with this safety eventually. But he doesn't see him. If you look at the stripe on his helmet, he doesn't even look for him. And the corner is able just to sit there and make the play. But if that corner did get blocked, this is a very, very different situation. So, Jet, what do you see here?
All right, so the way I'm looking at it is I think this is literally the exact same play. And you're essentially, instead of getting the lead block from the running back, you're essentially getting it now from the tight end, and you have those 2 pullers still. So you're still getting the matchup you want in terms of numbers. And you're basically getting a one-on-one is what you should be getting with the safety and your running back based on the numbers. So as you let this thing go through, you could see The guard misses his block up to that kind of that overhang player. And if he takes that, you got a one-on-one with the safety. I think it's a great play. They clearly liked it over there. I think if you can run the ball, I think you should make somebody force you to stop running the ball. I think that's the most important thing. If you can just control the game through the run game, I think that's very impressive and really demoralizing for a defense. So shout out to Miami for them like really coming together in the fourth quarter, running the ball really well. I know they did consistently throughout the game, but I think that we're going to do that well as well. I think Trey's going to have a huge game. Don't be surprised if the backup running back has a huge game as well. I think they're both going to be great. I would expect a lot of plays like this. I think duo is going to be huge as well. That's essentially, we all know it's a north and south offense. So both of those are north and south run type runs. So definitely going to be seeing some version of this, but I like to see Miami do it as well.
Always love breaking down the tape. We saw there's some things that Texas can exploit here. So hopefully we start SEC play with a nice, confident win, but we will see. Guys, go over to InsideTexas.com. You know the drill by now. Join for just $1 and get a full year of access to The Athletic. Thanks for watching, everyone. Jet, Drew, I'll see you next week. Peace.